few minutes now until the GC group come over the line, and we'll take you back with live commentary. You can see those pictures as well on the screen. But a great victory for Alexis Gougiard, Juan Antonio Flecha. He's only 22 years old from AG2R La Mondiale.
Yes, he's a very young guy. I mean, it's very impressive winning stage in the Vuelta Espana, especially with that breakaway with so many good names, great riders in that breakaway, like the guys we saw them sprinting here. So he went from 30 Ks from the finish line on his own, which is...
Okay, we're going to have to go back. Sorry, Juan Antonio. We're going to take you back live because Movistar look like they're doing something in the GC group. Back with you soon.
Big attack by Valverde. Valverde decided to kick off, and of course Joaquim Rodriguez, thinking about that green jersey, decided to bridge to him. A little bit of injection of pace with 11 kilometers to go, and of course, as usual, it was as you are with Aru and seemingly a tow rope back to Dumoulin. Now, will Dumoulin today decide to push on the cobbles, maybe find a split, maybe a little gap? It could be that Aru is hanging on to the coattails of Dumoulin today, and we're going to have the answer to that question fairly soon. Right now we had a bit of action, of course, on the downhill. We expected that, and now we're on a flat-ish approach into town. They'll kick up very gently and go to the battlements, but it's battle stations absolutely everywhere, and as you can see, there are giant Alpecin riders who are still here wanting to get involved, and this is, of course, potentially to offer up something to Tom Dumoulin. He's not fearful of Aru, not today. He's going to keep that fear, I guess, locked down until tomorrow. But Aru is trying something right now, and at least Dumoulin in this kind of terrain has got helpers, and he's going to lean on them, is he? A little tiny bit of a gap, the narrowest of margins on this flat highway, with Aru just testing everybody. It's testy, nervous stuff we've got going on at the moment, Sean.
Yes, very nervous stuff, and we can see it's Valverde who is causing all the problems, and he's doing that for quite a while, just putting in little attacks. We did see some time ago where one of the Astana riders just said, you know, leave him out there, leave him hang out there just 30 metres ahead. But of course, Tinkoff out there a little bit concerned about that for Mike's place in the general classification, but we can see it's really tense here, and there will be a lot of movement, and especially with this run in, you know, when it kicks up over the cobbles, that's where Valverde can be dangerous. He can, you know, pull a lot of time out. Will there be other riders? Will you know, the man who is leading the race overall, Tom Dumoulin, will he try something? You can see there, you know, you can feel the tension in this group of big favourites as they go under 9k to go.
9 kilometers to go. This is that little kick up. They just go over a rise, and then it's that highway, you remember, with the wide open valley as they've cut the road into the hillside, and you can see the castle, which is our destination up the road, and suddenly it kicks off again. Oh, this is good stuff, and Astana want to show themselves at the fore, and it's Cataldo that's decided now to mark out. Now, is he going to be a satellite rider up the road? Cataldo has gone off. He's on the coattails at the moment of Valverde, and no response from the green jersey of Perito Rodriguez, who I think may well be looking at the green jersey disappearing over the horizon. Now, this does suddenly kick down and gets very, very high speed. We saw the breakaway, Sean, just tucking themselves in, super aero, and I suspect we might see it again by these guys. Just scan them for Aru, though, and you'll see the red jersey is now, for the time being, about 10 or 12 riders further away from Aru. It's all kicking off, Sean.
Yes, well, it's Valverde who's, you know, all the time keeping on attacking, and we can see here he has the Astana rider on tow, Rosa, but it's the team of Rafa, Mike, Tinkoff, Sachs who are just pushing on here, and you know, they're getting concerned because Mike, you know, is afraid of Valverde. Also Quintana is behind him, so they have to, you know, just mark him and keep the pace high, because if you just, you know, sit up here, allow Valverde to push on, well, then you can take 15-20 seconds plus very quickly.
Look at that. They're showing you what teammates can do for you in a drafting situation, and Aru just coming up alongside. There's Perito as well in the green jersey, and of course the red on the back of Tom Dumoulin, a big man who offers up more aero to those behind him than he receives from some of the smaller riders. Meanwhile, Valverde couldn't make himself any smaller at all, could he? There he goes, he's got company, and it is indeed Diego Rosa who's with him from Astana, just trying to stay close at hand as they head down this incline. 7.2 kilometers to go. Is this Valverde taking over the green jersey from Rodriguez? Rodriguez has got a great interest in being where he needs to be, and Giant sending riders as well, just a little bit further down the road, while Tom Dumoulin is close at the barriers. That big approach, as we were saying, very, very high speed, about 90 kilometers per hour for the quickest men down this incline, and it is Rodriguez that's trying to bridge over to Valverde at the moment. It's about minor places as well. We saw Chavez trying to keep in touch with the likes of Valverde, separated from Valverde. Chavez is by 15 seconds, and this is Valverde maybe just wanting to install himself potentially as a top 5. He's currently 6 overall. Here come the roundabouts, Sean, and it may well catch a few out.
Yes, well, we can see they're 95k per hour, so they are coming in this roundabout at 80k certainly, and it's always, you know, a little concern if somebody gets his line wrong, but everybody through, and we can see it's Valverde who is still pushing on, and you know the teams are going to keep on chasing. We can see there it's a Giant Alpecin rider coming back. I think that's Lawson Craddock who has been up there in that leading group with Tom Dumoulin, but Valverde, he's on fire in this final.
He certainly is. Shaky moments here then for Joaquin Rodriguez, and potentially seeing the green jersey disappear from him. It's all on points as far as that's concerned. There's only 2 between Valverde and Rodriguez. More importantly, time gap, of course, and this could be Valverde just installing himself and maybe just closing down a little bit on his teammate, who's 18 seconds to the good. A little bit more than that, Quintana. In fact, 37 seconds separate Quintana, Valverde and Chavez. That's 5, 6 and 7 in the overall classification. He wants time, and he may well find some right now. He's got 7 seconds, so he's assembling a campaign within his own team as we speak. Chasers from Giant, and there is Dumoulin, Perito as well. And the more riders that sit between Perito and Valverde, the worse it gets for Valverde, I'm afraid, as this rolls on. 4.8 to go. Into town we come. And Dumoulin is still in a very good position. A few moments ago, there was a couple of gaps between Dumoulin and Aru. Aru doesn't want any gaps at the line today, Sean.
No, nobody wants gaps in this group, all the men in the general classification. We can see there the Giant Alpecin. It looks like John Degenkolb actually, who was, you know, up there with the Astana rider Diego Rosa, and he seemed to have knocked off his effort a bit and coming back, and that would be normal, just to come back to Tom Dumoulin in case he's needed, and allow Valverde to go out in front. And they don't have to really start panicking about Valverde in the Giant Alpecin team. It's more about the other riders who is close, and the man, of course, Fabian Aru, who was only at 3 seconds.
Well, drifts wide towards the high concrete. If you get too close, your downstroke will take you off the bike. You've all got to be careful. And as you've seen, there's some very, very difficult approaches. This roundabout that they're going to come to is the 3/4 that we were telling you, that's taken in an anti-clockwise fashion. And there's not much room. There's an ideal racing line through here, and I hope that they all string out and take it safely. Here we come in at 6 o'clock, all the way round, exit at 9 o'clock, anti-clockwise. And at least Valverde's got through safely, and he checks over his shoulder, and it looks like he's knocking back the cadence ever so slightly. Well, looking down that line as well, you can always pick out Tom Dumoulin. It's just his height accounts for a great deal, but of course he's resplendent in red at the moment, and it looks like he's going to be in red at the end of today. 8 seconds now. I don't think that's correct between Valverde and the chasers. As we look at it right now, we have, of course, already had a winner today, but the margin of the breakaway was so huge that Alexis Gougiard crossed the line 15 minutes ago and more. So it's about the GC, it's about the gaps in the general classification. And right now it's Giant Alpecin who are able at last to offer up some support to Tom Dumoulin. And they're doing a great job of keeping the pace where it needs to be, which is reasonably high on the approach. I am waiting to see what Aru does on these ramps. He clearly believes he's got something, and of course he has a great talent, as you know. Big sail through them, and they are now heading for home. 3 kilometers to go, and over the river they go. Pacing on goes Valverde. What can Perito Rodriguez do about this? We're searching now for the green jersey within this group. It's embedded. He's embedded within it. But of course the ramps will have no fear for Rodriguez once we get there. He wears the green now. Will he hold on to it? 2.6 kilometers to go, and the final kick up is going to be taken by this man first, and you can see the crowd rising to him. The crowd a solitary spectator at that point. Back over the bridge he comes to the battlements. It's been a great battle today, Sean.
Yes, it is a battle, and Valverde is continuing. He's pushing on all the time. We can see it's Tinkoff Saxo who are securing the pace on the front of that group of favourites, and they are concerned about Valverde. They do not want to allow him to take any time at all from the big favourites, and Rafa Majka, of course, in the general classification. He is continuing on, but when you're out here in front, when you hit the cobble sections, it's going to be difficult for him to continue on this effort and hold advantage.
Well, we're hearing that Rossetto, who took a tumble earlier on, you may well have seen that, has sadly abandoned the race, the Cofidis rider, so late on into a Grand Tour. Sean, that's a heartbreak for any rider.
Yes, and we could see there, just in the big push in the peloton, I think riders are suffering and starting to really get under pressure, and that's when you can have problems. And that's what we said in the earlier part. You have to be careful. You just have to keep on watching what's happening out in front, because any time, any place, a rider can go down in front of you.
Yeah, and you can lose. That can happen to you on the final day, we remind you. Giant Alpecin putting in a dig now, and this is Dumoulin on the attack. He's got some firepower here. Can he find a gap? Well, it's perhaps his only opportunity to do so, and this is a psychological war he is waging right now. Tomorrow is not going to be about Tom Dumoulin, certainly not attacking. It's about him surviving tomorrow and maintaining the lead, but right now he's trying to impose himself. He's trying to show what he can do, and his team are sacrificing themselves on his behalf, on the cobbles, on this drag, and he's got a gap, Sean.
Yes, we can see there, first of all, it was John Degenkolb, then it was Lawson Craddock who was pushing on here, and now Tom Dumoulin is going to try and push on and see can he take some seconds from the other favourites, especially Fabien Aru.
Well, this is what it's all about. He just needs to get his head down, and he can. Aru's distance, this could be a 2-second gap between the pair of them. If Tom Dumoulin crosses the line, they'll reset the clock, any visible gap behind them, and there is one right now. 1,300 metres to go. This is where Dumoulin digs in and he starts to time trial. He's got to do it on his own. He's had some help from his teammates today, and right now it's about distance, and frankly he's got one. Will it be significant by the end? What will be the distance between them, and will it be manageable by Aru and Astana tomorrow? This is about Dumoulin imposing himself and fighting for red, Sean.
Yes, well, he's just giving it everything here. We can see he has the Katusha rider Daniel Moreno on tow, and Aru is just fighting to try and get back here. He has 10 metres, but just he's looking around to see if anybody come across that will give him a little bit of a handout to close this gap down, but Dumoulin is just going to put his time trialling ability to test now.
Yes, he absolutely is. He just needs to keep driving. There will be an extended margin, will there? Here comes Aru, 500 metres. He flicks the arm out, wants some assistance, none being offered. He's got no teammates left. Now we know what Dumoulin feels like when he's got in the mountains. This is Dumoulin in more familiar terrain, at least to his teammates, and Dumoulin continues to churn it. He's sending it round. Oh, look at Dumoulin here. He's extending that lead over Fabio Aru. What will be the gap? At the moment, it's about 3 seconds that Aru is going to lose, and if he doesn't hold on, he's being offered up a little bit of assistance right now. A little bit of assistance from Pozzovivo. Well, there we are, Italians working together, you might say. 25 minutes to go, 10 to go right now. Dumoulin now, 1, 2, 2 seconds, I reckon. Enhancement for Tom Dumoulin. We'll see what the timekeeper says, but I think the gap at the top will be 5 seconds, and you never know, that might prove crucial. The rest of them come across the line. You saw Perito there in the green jersey, but what a finish, Sean. Yet more drama.
Yes, what a drama, and Dumoulin, the team did the job for him, and then he takes it up, and I think Aru, it could be just about the 3 seconds.
Wow. Well, 2 seconds or 3 seconds. The final margin will be between 3 and 6 between Tom Dumoulin and Fabio Aru. There was a gap. They had to fight for it. And what a battle we have witnessed. Still in the red, Tom Dumoulin. Glorious blue skies here in Avila. Wow, we'll catch our breath. Well, I'm sure you've been royally entertained as well by what the riders have done today. Stunning stuff. And of course, we go on with the big climbs tomorrow. This Vuelta, it remains white hot, does it not?
Welcome back to Avila. I hope you've enjoyed the drama of those last few kilometres. Alexis Gougiard won the stage, but the drama came on that final cobbled